Hi there and welcome to another InvoiceBerry tutorial on how to automate your business workflows in order to speed up your invoicing and get paid faster. Today we're looking at our friends at Calendesk. It's a appointment booking software, a very complex one with loads of functionality. And I'm in my Calendesk account right now. And you can set up a website on there. You can set up your booking page on there. And today's workflow, what we're trying to do in Zapier is we want to connect Calendesk to InvoiceBerry. So as soon as someone creates an appointment with us, we want to send them an invoice for that appointment. One of the reasons why I'm very excited today is that we're not just connecting Calendesk with InvoiceBerry, but we have one more step in between in order to format the data correctly and in order to set up the invoice correctly. So let's search for Calendesk in our Zapier editor and let's search for InvoiceBerry and get started. So what do we want to do as a trigger? You can see Calendesk is very powerful. You have loads of different options here, but what we want to do is once a booking is created and we want to create an invoice. Then in the process, we will create a client and an invoice and we will send it on top of that. Let's click on try it. And the first step, as usual, what we have to do, we have to connect to Calendesk. So let's click on it. And here you see, you can just click on profile and integrations and it should bring us to the correct page. Now, what we want is the account integrations and not the employee integrations. Let's click on account integrations. And then rather than clicking on Zapier, you can actually click on API. And I've already created my API keys. There should be a button normally to create one. And you first just click the copy button for the tenant name. You pop that in here and then you copy the API key. You pop that in here and now any moment we should be connected. Perfect. So that's my account. I click on next and now it's getting some sample data. So just before this tutorial video started, I actually went on my booking page on Calendesk and I booked an appointment with myself. So it had some sample data in the account. If you don't have any data in your account yet, that's basically the first step you have to do. Now back to Zapier. Now I have to connect my InvoiceBerry account. Click on connect. And for InvoiceBerry, it's very similar. I need an API key and an API password. So let's just go to sample LLC. That's my InvoiceBerry sample account. Click on settings, main settings and integrations. And you can just click here on request or renew key to get your newest key. You copy that, paste it under API key. You go back to InvoiceBerry, you take the API password, you copy it and paste it here. And then any moment now, our InvoiceBerry account is connected with our Zapier account. All right, that's perfect. You can see here our account is connected. I click on next and now I can start with the Zapier editor. I don't want to use any existing client. So what I want to do is I just click on next. I don't select any client here, which means every time there's a new booking coming in, it will create a new client for that booking and create an invoice for that client. So what do I want on my invoice? That really depends on what we get from Calendesk, what data, and it also depends what you want to have on your invoice. Let's say we want the client name, we want the client email, the mobile phone number, the first name, last name, and currency. That's part of the invoice already, date of issue. What else do we need? Maybe the item descriptions, the cost, the quantity, and What else do we want? The send invoice. So here we can tell InvoiceBerry if it should auto send the invoice or not. And I click on next. And now the client name. My sample booking, I use the name James McQueen. So this is the first name. And then you can use here the search bar to search for it. And here you see the user surname McQueen. All right. The client email, again, Calendesk offers us so many information here, as you can see. So it might be a bit overwhelming. So you can just start searching here. Let's say type in user and have a look, maybe user email. Okay, perfect. That is the email address I used. The client phone number. Again, you can type in client, maybe number, maybe phone. That's my phone number I used. Then going back to the name of the client. Here we go to the search, we type in. And here, all we're doing at the moment is we're matching the data we got from Calendesk in what fields it should go in InvoiceBerry. And this is very nice in Zapier because it offers us not just the fields how the tech guys over at Calendesk called it, but it also gives us the sample data. So it's way much easier to understand what we have to pop in here. All right, so this is the name, the currency. My account, I have it in US dollars. I want to send my invoices in US dollars. So as soon as this drop-down menu appears here, you can select over, I think, 250 currencies, including some cryptocurrencies, but I just click on US dollars. The date of issue, that's a good one. I think we should do the date when you booked it. So let's have a look here. What do we find? Created ad. That's how they call it at Calendesk. So the created ad is whenever the person made the booking. Not when the booking will happen, not when the call will happen, the appointment, but when the person clicked the button and ordered the call. Item description, let's say online consultation. So this is the employee service name. So this is what the person booked with me. If you go on my booking page, you can see someone selected online consultation, 1 hour, and it's $100 and it's with me. Then let's go back to Zapier. So now we go to quantity. So this is 1 and send the invoice, yes or no. Yes, we want to send the invoice automatically, but here is one of the issues now. The unit cost. So I click here and let me show you what we will see here. Let's search for the unit cost. So the $100 we want to find here. Let me have a look. So here all the different, there's so much information here. It's great, but it can get a bit overwhelming. So always use the search if you have a hunch. Yeah, price, service price. And as you can see here, the service price is 10,000 because Calendesk actually sends it in cents, in US dollar cents. So we obviously don't want to send an invoice over $10,000, but over $100. So what we have to do now, we have to convert this US dollar cent price into US dollars. So for that, we actually have to click on next. And you see here, this is 10,000 and it should be 100. So let's click on back. And what we can do, need to add a step of filtered data. And we click on this here. All right. So here we can see a bunch of information, but click on use advanced mode. This will load your Zapier editor in a more advanced sort of interface. And let it load. And now you can see again, you have your trigger, you have your action. So the trigger is someone books an appointment in Calendesk. The action is to create an invoice in InvoiceBerry. But now we want one more step in between. So we click on plus, and here the built-in tools, we want to click on format. We click on it, and what do we want? Event. We want numbers because we're working with currencies and numbers here. Click on continue, and then we want to transform. We want to do a mass operation. And then what we want, let's see, operation, we want to divide. And what is the input? The input is the price we received from Calendesk. So let's see, it's the service price. Perfect. And here, the second number we want is 100. So what we want to do, we want to divide the price in cents by 100, because that will give us the US dollar price. Let's have a look. So this is 10,000 divided by 100. Let's test this. Perfect. The output is 100. So now what we've done in this step, we converted the data we got from Calendesk into data that works with InvoiceBerry. And that's the beauty of Zapier, that you can just add these different steps in between. Now let's click on continue. And now what we want to change is one thing. We want to set up the action. Okay, so this is all fine. You can see that these are all the information we added previously, but we want to change the unit cost here from the service price, we delete that, to the number we got from Zapier, the 100. All right. And we want to send the invoice. We say continue, test action. All right, perfect. I just heard in the background my phone giving a buzz. So I think I received the invoice already. And let's just have a look in our InvoiceBerry dashboard. Here we go. That's the invoice, James McQueen. I click on it and let's have a look. Online consultation, $100. And that's it. Thanks a lot for listening. If you've got any other questions on how to automate your business workflow to send more beautiful looking invoices in a speedy way, let me know about it. I'm always happy to help you. Thanks a lot and happy invoicing. Bye bye.